Every year, more than 35,000 men and women are diagnosed with a cancer caused by HPV in the United States. Joining us now to talk about that and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital's efforts to educate people about the benefits of the HPV vaccine is Dr. Heather Briant. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Briant.
Thank you for having me.
Now tell us a little bit about HPV and HPV vaccinations, and what are the benefits to receiving the vaccine?
HPV stands for human papillomavirus, but it's commonly just called HPV, and HPV is very common in the United States. It's so common that 1 in 4 people in the U.S. right now have HPV, and nearly everyone will have HPV in their lifetime. What we don't know in whoever has HPV is going to progress to an HPV cancer. And so that's where HPV vaccination comes in, because HPV vaccination is cancer prevention. And so we have a safe, effective, and long-lasting vaccine that is given to children to protect them today from those HPV cancers that they may develop as adults. So we don't have to guess. We can give this vaccine and know that 90% of HPV cancers can be prevented in adulthood. And so that is the main benefit of HPV vaccination, is the cancer prevention promise and potential.
Why is St. Jude advocating for parents and caregivers to include HPV vaccinations with their child's back-to-school immunizations?
Gosh, there are lots of things on that back-to-school list: binders, markers, backpacks, and more. And we certainly want routinely recommended vaccinations to be on that list as well, for on-time HPV vaccination for 9 to 12-year-olds by their 13th birthday. And at St. Jude, my colleagues work very hard every day to treat children for catastrophic diseases and save their lives. And so St. Jude is very dedicated to children and families and ensuring that children can lead long, happy, and healthy lives. And so this is a vaccination that is given to children to protect them against HPV before they would acquire an HPV infection and become at risk for HPV cancers in adulthood. And so that's really the role of St. Jude. Parents and families trust information from St. Jude. And so we join with other national organizations in supporting HPV vaccination to build confidence in this vaccine, and most importantly, to point to its cancer prevention promise and potential.
And what are some common misconceptions or myths surrounding HPV and the HPV vaccine?
Well, there are several, and a few that I think are always important to address is that HPV vaccination is for everyone. Early on in the time when the vaccine was made available in the United States, the focus was on its prevention of cervical cancer, and that's certainly still the case. But of course, only females or people who have a cervix are at risk of cervical cancer, and that unfortunately led to this belief that HPV vaccination is only for females, and that's not true. HPV vaccination is for everyone, both males and females. And in fact, the most common HPV cancer is oropharyngeal cancer among men. We also know that a lot of parents have questions about HPV vaccination safety. Over 500 million doses of HPV vaccine have been given worldwide, and this vaccine has an excellent safety profile. And not only does it show great safety, it also works really well to prevent actual cases of HPV cancer. And we know that because in Australia, they're on track to eliminate cervical cancer by the year 2035. And let me just say that again, they're on track to eliminate one of those types of HPV cancer. So if we can protect more children today, we know we can prevent suffering and the burden of HPV cancers in the future.
And where can we go for more information?
Well, we know parents and caregivers have questions, and they deserve answers to those questions so they can be informed and confident when they're taking their children in for HPV vaccination. So we hope people will visit us online at stjude.org/HPV and stjude.org/bright-future.
Dr. Briant, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.